Okay. This is a calculator section 2021 March SAT. Number one. A sample of water was taken from each of the 10 different locations in a pond. pH of each sample was measured. And the measurements are summarized in the frequency table shown. So how many samples of pH 7.4 or greater? So if you look at here, that's a 7.4 or greater. So how many samples there when you count it? 4 plus 3, 7. Okay. Number two, in 2015, the city of Miami had a population 441,000 people and the area 36 square miles. What was the population density they give you? People per square mile. So 441,000 people divided by 36 square mile. So when you compute, that's 12,250. Okay. Number three, Roman Empire and ancient Greece. The Metropolitan Museum of the Art has a plate on display from Roman Empire and ancient Greece. The box plot shown summarizes the distribution of the diameters in centimeter of all museums plates from each region. So how does the median diameter of the plates from Roman Empire are compared to, so R means Roman Empire, and compared to the median diameter of the plates from ancient Greece. Okay, so this is a R, median is a median right here for R, and this one median G. Okay, so G is greater than R, right? So G is around here, R is around here. Okay, so G is greater than R. So answer should be A. Number four, the combustion of glucose releases energy. The ratio of the grams of glucose combusted to kilocalories of the energy released to 12.0 to 45.0. So how many grams of glucose must be combusted to provide 85.5 kilocalories of energy? So the ratio grams to kilocalories is this, right? So you can make a proportion. 12 gram and it'll provide you 45 kilocalories. Now 85.5 kilocalories, then how many grams of glucose you're gonna need? So you set up proportion like that and then cross multiply. So 45x and 12 times 85.5 when you multiply 1026 and divide by 45 both sides. So x is 22.8. So answer C. Okay, so make a proportion. Number five, the function f defined f of x is x squared minus 7. So what is the value of f of 3? So you plug in 3 into x. So 9 minus 7, 2. So C is answer. Number six, the probability of unfair coin landing head side, 0.6. Okay, usually 0.5, but this is an unfair coin. Now a student tossed this coin into the air 9 times, and it landed tail side up 5 times, head side up 4 times. Okay, then what is the probability that coin will land the head side up in 10th toss? Okay, since this each time tossing is independent, so no matter what happened for the 9 times in here, that doesn't affect for the next, okay, because it's independent. And then it said that the probability it will be head up will be 0.6. So question is a 10th toss. What is the probability it will be head side up? Still 0.6. Okay, so no matter what happened in the before, it doesn't affect for the next. So should it be independent case? So still probability is 0.6. Number 7. The two histograms shown the distribution of the data set A and data set B respectively. Data set B is the result of removing outlier. So this is outlier, you can tell, from the data set A. So which of the following statement about the means of the data set and data set B is true? Means, so if you remove this one, so before you remove, this is like between 60 and 70. So mean for the data set A much bigger than after you remove this one, right? Because you remove the outlier which is a higher value. So which one is true? So if you look at the answer tree, yeah, so B, the mean of data set A is greater than mean of data set B, because in the data set B, you remove that outlier which is a lot bigger than mean. Okay. Now number 8. Hamey drove a car from West Union, Minnesota, through the North Dakota to Miles City, Montana. The total distance she traveled through each state is shown in the figure. So this shows she drive from here. So Minnesota, 120 miles, North Dakota, 360, things like that. The distance d in miles, Hamey drove a function of the time, t in hours, and then since she started driving, it's modeled by the equation d equals. So she's driving is like 60 miles per hour, and then t is a time in hour. So number 8, according to the model, what distance in miles Hamey driven 3 hours after she started driving? So using that formula right here, so t equals 60 times how many hours? 3. So that's she drove 180 miles. Okay, distance is rate times time. Now number 9, what interval represent all values of t during which Hamey drove in North Dakota? North Dakota is right here. So basically her distance is 60 t, and then North Dakota is after 120, so bigger than 120, but should be less than. When you add up, so here 120 up to here, and this one 120 plus 360 is 480. Up to 480 miles the distance is North Dakota located, so 480. Okay, between 120 and 480 total distance should be North Dakota. So now to find out time, you divide by 60, so t less than 8 and should be greater than 2. So any time between 2 and 8 should be in North Dakota. So answer B. Now number 10. The graph shows the number of Argus cells grown. So this one is nothing to do with that graph. Okay, this is separate. During the experiment, in millions of cells per milliliter of the water, t days after start an experiment, between which 2 days of the growth rate of the cell per milliliter of the water per day is greatest. So question is, what is the growth rate greatest? And so that means a slope is which one is steepest? Right here, right? That slope is steepest. So should it be between 5 and 6? So answer B. Okay. So rate greatest, that means the slope greatest. So that's between 5 and 6 days. Now, next one, number 11. Local restaurant gives the teacher 20% discount on all their meals. The teacher pays $14 for a meal after discount was applied. And what was the price of the meal before discount? So let's say X is the price of the meal before discount, but this person get 20% discount. That is $14. So 0.8x is 14. So x, when you divide by 14 divided by 0.8 will give you 17.5. So the meal price before discount, $17.50. Okay. Number 12. The frequency table shows the distribution of the actual number of fluid ounces of the water in a random sample 80. So that means 80 sample here total. 20 ounces of bottle of the water at a bottling plant. The bottles are only sold if they contain at least 19.8. At least 9.8. So from here. But no more than 20.2. So right here. The population of the bottle can be sold is the same for the sample, and 16,000 20-ounce bottles produced at the plant each day. So how many 16,000 bottles cannot be sold? Okay. So only this range is allowed to sell. So right here is only one bottle, and here also one bottle. So so this is total 80 bottles in the table. So 2 out of 80 is the ratio it cannot sold, right? But now, if a bottle is not 80, if it's a 16,000, how many bottles cannot be sold, right? So you make a proportion. So 2 out of 80, one more time. So those are not, it cannot be sold based on this description. So 2 out of 80 cannot be sold. Then how many bottles cannot be sold out of 16,000? Okay, that's how you're gonna set up. So when you cross multiply, 32,000 equals 80x. So x is 400. Okay, so answer is C. Number 13. For the linear function, it's a linear. The table shows the several values of x and their corresponding f of x. What is a y-intercept? Okay, you can set up equation. So your m, so you can say this is negative 4, 14, negative 2, 8. So if you have a 2 point, you can find the slope. 14 minus 8 over negative 4 minus negative 2 is a plus 2. So 6 over negative 2, so negative 3 is a slope. So y equals a negative 3x plus b. And then you use any point. So I'm going to use this one. 14 equals negative 3 times negative 4 plus b. So b is negative 3 times a negative 4 is a 12. So b is a 2. Okay. So that's a y-intercept. Y-intercept is a 2. So answer C. Okay. So you can set up equation. Now, move on. Number 14. When a buffet restaurant charges $12 per meal, okay, the number of meals it sells per day is 400. That's the number of meal. If it's $12 per meal, for each 0.5 50 cents increase the price to the per meal, the number of meals sold per day decrease by. So if you increase the price, of course, the number of they can sold is decrease by 10. So what is the price per meal result in the greatest sale in dollars from meals each day? So your profit, basically, you can say your price. So you let's say whatever, like let's say S, okay? That's the total profit. So if you raise 50 cents, so from $12, you raise, so let's say it's at 0.50 increase per meal. So let's say how many times, right? So 0.50 times x. Okay, so that means as long as you increase 0.5 each time, that's the price of the meal, right? Times, now, so this is a unit price per meal. And number of meal, it was 400, but it decreased. every time you increase a 0.50, it decreases by 10. So it should be 10x. Okay, so this is a number of meals. So when you multiply, that's a total profit. So let's multiply that. Then 12 times 400 is a 4,800. And then outer term 120x, inner term 0.5 times 0.5x times 400 is 200x minus last term 5x squared. So when I rewrite it, negative 5x squared plus 80x, collect like terms, plus 4,800. Now, so I know this open downwards. So to have a maximum profit, like that, maximum profit here. So your H vertex is H and K. So your H value is negative B over 2A. Okay. So A is a negative 5, B is 80. So negative 80 over 2 times negative 5, which is 8. So now, 8 times you increase, then you're going to have a maximum profit. Okay? So this is a S here, and this is a X. So then they ask you, what is the price per meal? Greater than $1. So price per meal is basically right here. So I'm going to substitute 12 plus 0.5 times 8. 8 times you increase that one, then you're going to have a maximum profit. So this one is 12 plus 0.5 times 8 is 4, so 16. So $16 per meal will get you maximum profit. So answer is A. Okay. So you need to find out expression price per meal and number of meals. Okay. Every time you increase a 0.50 cents, and then it will decrease $10 each time. And then you get the quadrication. And then to have a maximum profit, what is the that time X value? So H is a negative B over 2A. Then I got 8. But that time, then how many, what is the price per meal that time? So then you plug it in here, right? So 12 plus 0.5 times, 8 times you're going to increase. So then $16. Then you're going to get maximum profit. Number 15. The scatter plot shows the relationship between two variables x and y. The line of best fit is shown. So what is the equation of the line of best fit? This is like around 3.7, the y-intercept, so not 1.3. And then slope is a positive, so not negative slope. So answer A. You don't need to compute. By looking at it, you can pick right answer. Number 16. Linear function f of 2 equals 10. And then slope is a 3. Which one defines that? So slope 3, so not this. So either C or D. And then this one 2, 10. So which one when you plug it in is 10. So answer is a D. Okay? Only this one, not C. Plug it in. 17. 7x plus 21 is a negative 2. What is the value of x plus 3? So why don't I divide by 3 both sides? Then you go divide by 7 actually. Divide by 7 both sides. So then you're going to get x plus 3 on the left hand side and negative 2 over 7. So answer is D. Okay? By dividing by 7, you can get the answer quickly. Now, number 18. The solution to the system of equation is x plus y. X comma y. What is the value of 3x plus y? By looking at it, so sometimes like that, not always, but by adding this, you can get 3x plus y on the left hand side, and then that's a 15. So answer is T. Okay, so you don't have to solve for variable. By adding two expressions, you can get answer quickly. Number 19, advertising agency guarantees each service will increase website 3.5% compared to each previous week. So which type of function best models the weekly guaranteed website traffic as the number of weeks increase? So it'll increase 3.5%. So 1 plus that percent in decimal, so 0.035, right? And then each week, so let's say number of weeks is x. So you should get 1.035 to the power of x, things like that, whatever initial value. Okay, so that is the expression. So increasing exponentially, that one. Okay, so if we say increase a certain percent, that means exponentially increase. But increase by certain, like constant, like increase by 10, then that's a linear. But increase by percent, it must be exponential. Okay, remember that. Now number 20. The scatter plot shows the data set of 11 points, a line of best fit for the data. For how many data points y value predicted by the line of best fit greater? Okay, so predicted line is greater than actual. So you count those. Okay, so like example, that point is greater than actual. Okay, so you should count below that best fitting line. So you have a total 5. So A is answer. Okay, a lot of people, they confuse they count sometimes the points above the line, but that is not true, because this one is a predicted line greater than the actual one. So the point should be actually below that predicted line. Okay. Number 21. Dana is riding 100-mile long bicycle race. The function f defined f of x is 100 minus 18x. Models the number of miles that Dana has a remaining x hours after she starts the race. What is the best interpretation of f of 2 equals 64? That means 2 hours after she starts, she still need to go 64 miles, right? That's what that meant. So if you read it, so answer D. 2 hours after Dana started the race, so she has about 64 miles remaining. Okay, that's what it meant. It said that much miles remaining X hours after. Okay, so number 21 is D. Now let's move on. Number 22. Triangle ABC, triangle DEF has a measuring 29 and 54. That means they are similar. We don't know they are. So which of the following is sufficient to prove two triangles are congruent? So we have many ways you can prove, but so let's see. You have 5 ways to prove two triangles are congruent: SSS, SAS, and ASA, and AAS, and HL. But in this case, they gave you 2 angles that are congruent, right? Then 2 angles. So not this, not this, not this, either this one or this one. So let's read it here. So if you look at answer choice is C, BC is equal to EF. So this one equal, that means ASA. So by the third one, you can prove two triangles congruent. And then the other one doesn't work, okay? Number 23, how many solutions are there? So think about it. Absolute something is a negative, not possible, right? So no solution, so 0, okay? Absolute something cannot be negative 4. Number 24, the solution to the quadratic equation above are A and B. So this is a sum of 2 roots. So remember, sum of 2 roots is using coefficient negative b over a. Okay, product of 2 roots is a c over a. If you remember fundamental theorem of algebra, okay, a means ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So you have to find out what is a, b, c stand for. Here a is a 3, b is a 1, c is a negative 2. Then sum of the roots, negative b over 2a, so negative 1 over, negative b over a. So negative 1 over 3. So your sum should be negative 1/3. If they ask you product, C over A, so negative 2/3 will be answer for product, but they ask you only sum. So we can move on. 25. In the figure shown, point O is the center of the circle and the vertex of the square lies on the circle. The opposite vertex is on the center O. And if the area of the shaded region 36 pi minus 18, so if you connect it, so you know area of circle minus that area of square, that's what it meant, the area of shaded region. So this one is a pi r square, so that means r is a 6. This is a 6. And then it said square. So if you think about square, then it should be, you can say this way. For right triangle, and then as long as this one same, 45, 45 angle, then x root 2x, right? So you can say 6 equals root 2x. Then when you divide by root 2 both sides, so x equals 6 over root 2. Now they ask you, what is the perimeter of the square, right? So perimeter of the square, 6 root 2 times 4, right? Because you have a 4 side all the way around. Then 24 over root 2. So what is the same as that? So you can rationalize by multiply root 2 top and bottom. So then 24 root 2 over root 2 times root 2 is a 2. So when you reduce this one by 2, so 12 root 2 is the perimeter. Okay, so answer has to be C. Okay, so they gave you this one, so radius is 6. This is 6. For 45, 45, because this is a square, so 45, 45, 90, x root 2x. Then root 2x equals 6, so x is this, okay? That means that this side is 6 root 2, 6 root 2, 6 root 2, 6 root 2. So I multiply by 4 perimeter, and then rationalize by multiply root 2 top and bottom, then you get 12 root 2. Okay, so that's how I'm gonna compute. Now, let's move on. Number 26. Which of the following is equivalent to the expression that? So why don't I factor x squared minus 4, x squared minus 4. Okay, when you factor it out, that should work. So that means the same as this. Okay, x squared minus 4 squared. Now you can do more. So x squared minus 4 is basically x squared minus 2 squared. So then x minus 2, x plus 2, difference of square. You can factor more like that. And the other one is x minus 2, x plus 2. So this one will be x plus 2 square. And this one when you multiply, x minus 2 square, okay? So then also first one works. So both of them is equivalent. So answer C. Good question for factoring. Number 27, each year, the value of the investment increased by 2.5%. So exponentially, we already talked about that. Increase by certain percent should be exponential. So 1 plus 2.5% in decimal, 0.025 to the power of x. So it's supposed to be that way. So 1.025, we already know answer has to be B. Okay, but initially it's a 500, so answer should be B. Okay. Now number 28. How many solutions the given system of equation have? Okay, let's see. If you multiply this one by negative 12, let's see what happened. Then if you multiply first equation, multiply negative 12, negative 60x plus 12y equals negative 108. Then I realized this is second equation same as that one. So that means you have a two equation, but they are same equation. So that means they are overlap. Okay, so answer is infinitely many solution. Two equations, they are one equation basically, because same thing. That means infinitely many solutions. Okay. Now let's move on. 29. Bridges have a spaces between their sections to allow for expansion and contraction caused by temperature variation. The space is known as a gap width. The size of the gap width is a W of T in inches, is a linear function of temperature T in degrees Fahrenheit. For certain bridge, the gap width is this 2.875 inches at 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and this much inches in 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So which of the following defines the relationship between temperature and gap width? So this is a basically you can find out 2 points, 2.875 comma 40, and the other one 1.875 comma 100, right? And it said linear. It said that here. It said here linear function, right? So then your slope, you can say, so 1 point, let's see, hold on. So temperature should be x value, I just realized. So should be the other way. Temperature is x value, because if you see that here, temperature is x value. So 40 comma this, and 100 comma this, okay? Now, so y2 minus y1, 1.875 minus 2.875 over 100 minus 40. So your slope is, when you subtract, negative 1 over 60. So slope is a negative 1 over 60, so not this. And then when you plug it in 40, you should get this answer, right? So that is this, right? When you plug in 40, this is gone, and you have a positive 2.875. So answer should be A, based on the information given. Now, number 30, the number of books in the library increased by 30%, 2002 to 2014. There are X books in the library 2002, and which expression represents the number of books in the library 2014 in terms of X. So it increased 30%. Okay. Not every year, from 2002 to 2014. So let's say X is number of books in 2002, but 30%, 0.3x increase. Okay, so that is a number of books in 2014. So when you add up 1.3x, so answer should be C. 30% of that increased. Okay. Now let's move on to grading problem number 31. Okay. Now, in a survey, 240 television viewers, 3/5 indicated that they like comedies. Some indicate that they don't like comedies, and the rest didn't respond. So you have a like comedies, they don't like comedies, or no response. If one of the 240 viewers is selected at random, the probability that 1/15 of the viewers selected didn't respond. Okay, let's say 115 times 240. So if you multiply it out, that is a 16. Okay, so 16 people didn't respond. And I said 3/5 of 240, when you multiply it out, that's 144 people they like. And the question is, how many don't like comedies? So you can say total out of 240 minus 144 people, they like comedies. And then 16 people, they didn't respond. That means the rest of it is people don't like, right? So when you subtract, that's 80. So 80 people, they don't like comedies. That's the answer. Okay. Number 32. What is the y-coordinate of the y-intercept? Y-intercept means a set x equals 0. So y equals 3 to the 0 plus 9. Anything 0 power is 1, so 1 plus 9. So answer is 10. Okay, 10 is a y-coordinate of the y-intercept. Number 33, the triangle ABC similar to triangle DEF. All the matters. Angle A is correspond to the angle D. So this one, same angle. What is the value of cosine F? So what is the cosine F here? So same angle. So basically cosine F, because F and C is the same angle, the same as cosine C. So if you look at this triangle instead, cosine is a ca, so adjacent means 24 over hypotenuse. So 24 over 30. And then you can reduce by 6, so 4 over 5. So answer should be 4 over 5. So instead of find cosine F, you can find the cosine C. Cosine C is adjacent over hypotenuse. And then reduce it, okay? Then you're gonna get answer 4 over 5. Now let's move on, number 34. The graph shows the power capacity of the 9 countries that had the greatest geothermal power capacity 2010. What was the capacity in megawatts of the country had median capacity of the 9 countries? So median, what is a median, right? So you have 9 countries total. So what is the fifth one? So start from the small one. This is 1. Next is smallest one. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that is your median. Okay. Out of 9 data, fifth one, that's the median. So answer is 863 from the graph. Okay, fifth one. Now number 35, line L shown in the XY plane. The point with the coordinate 2, C right here is on line L. What is the value of C? So you can find out, it's hard to read it from the graph. So to be exact, you need to find the equation of line L. So slope is -4 over this one 5. Okay, so y equal -4 over 5x. Y intercept is a +4. Now, so you just simply plug it in 2 into here. That is C value. -4 over 5 times the 2 plus 4. So -8 over 5 plus, if you have a common denominator, 20. So 12 over 5 will be your final answer. Okay? So set up equation and then plug it in, 2, C. And then you can get C value. Okay? Now, next one, number 36. The table gives the typical adult weight ranges and the lifespan for African and Asian elephants in the wild. Okay, so based on the table, what is the typical minimum weight of this one? Adult African elephant in the wild in pound. Okay, but this one is a tons, remember. So you have to convert into pounds. So 2.5 tons times, you can do unit conversion. So 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. 1 ton, 2,000 pounds, right? So then when you multiply it out, you're going to get 5,000 pounds. So only 5,000. Okay? Number 37. Based on the table, typical lifespan of African elephant in the wild. So lifespan African elephant is here. That is a P% greater than typical lifespan Asian elephant in the wild. Is this. So what is the value of P? So 70 is how many percent greater than 60, right? So 70 is how much percent greater than 60. So percent greater, that means that there is a difference. So 70 minus 60 out of greater than how many percent of Asian elephants? So out of 60, okay, times 100 into percent. Then 1 over 6 times 100, or you can say you can reduce, then 50 over 3. So you can say 50 over 3 is a P, okay? That percent much. Or you can say, if you use a calculator, so 16.7 around. So either way will be fine on the final answer. 38. The table shows several values of x and their corresponding values of f of x. The function f is defined like that, mb constant. What is the value of b? B is a y-intercept. So you can set up, it said the linear here. So your m is first of all using that 2 points, 151 minus 106 over 3 minus 2. So your slope is 45. Okay, so y equals 45x plus b, and then you can use one of the points. So here 106 equals 45 times 2 plus b. So 45 times 2 is 90. So when you subtract 90 both sides, b should be then 16. So answer is 16. Okay, that's how you're gonna do. So that's it for calculator section for 2021 March. And then I will see you next SAT.